I think I don't know how to dress anymore because what was going on in Milan's Fashion Week for Spring Summer 2026 was something. Hello and welcome to Design or Design. My name is Maria and this channel is all about fashion, all about trend analysis directly from the runways. And today, as I mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at the Milan Fashion Week for Spring Summer 2026. I know you're thinking, Maria, just the fall winter has started and you're already doing this. Yes, I am. I'm on point of my game. Yes. Today, we don't have a sponsor, so please make sure to interact with this video in some ways because I calculated and apparently with the amount of time I spent on these videos, I make $5 an hour and this is my full-time job. Yeah. Anyways, I don't want to make you guys feel bad for me because this is the road that I chose, but I was hoping that it would be a little bit quicker than this. And thank you so much for little tips and little gifts that I got from my last video. I guess, yes, you felt bad for me and I feel bad for myself too. Anyways, let's move to the actual trends. No more pity party for you, Maria, okay? So what did we see on the Milan runway shows? First of all, leather. And I know what you're thinking. It's spring, summer. Why is leather on here? And honestly, I was shocked myself. Throughout all of the fashion weeks, maybe apart from Copenhagen, everything felt very fall winter vibes. I'm not sure if it's the designers are like, oh, everybody loves the fall winter. It's always the more popular one. Why not just have it every season? Or maybe they're concentrating for the Australian market. I'm not sure, but we see lots of leather pieces in different colors, like we see here, like more of a burgundy browns. Gucci with their new designer also creating more blazers, jackets, skirts, you name it. We also see more loose dresses in some of the runway shows that potentially you could wear during the summer, but still it's gonna be really hot for you. We see more of the summery colors, quote unquote, as well. But maybe, yeah, this is maybe like for a early spring, somewhere a little bit more cooler, but it's been here. We've seen leather for a while now, so you probably have something already. Make sure to wear it. Next one up is the Fringe. Fringe has been a part of every fashion week that I've seen so far. So here we are. I love Fringe as a texture, but sometimes it's just not really realistic to wear, depending on, of course, the material. Here in Bottega Veneta, they had the fiberglass Fringe. It looks stunning. Apparently it's really light. We see lots of longer fringe in gowns or as a skirt underneath a blazer, some double-sided fringe like here. So it's basically fringy, but then both ends are attached to something. I feel like those ones are a little bit more dangerous to wear just because you can get hooked on things and potentially tear those fringes off and then you'll ruin the outfit. Like I'm always caught onto the door handles everywhere if I'm wearing some kind of fringe or more loose garments. So just keep in mind. But I do love these skirts of fringe. It's like the next round of the sheer skirts, but it's fringe. Love it. We also see it being used more in the bohemian style, more like Western style, like here in Etro. I quite like that one, as well as more of a mini skirt in those fringe moments. This would be beautiful as an overskirt, maybe like a belt moment that you could put on top of your trousers, your skirts, your dresses, and etc. We also see scarves with a long fringe at the ends, or maybe little accents around the collar. Maybe it's accessories, maybe it's the lower hem. Like here, the bracelets have the fringe. I wonder if it's separate or if it's two things, or maybe some of them is part of the dress. You can't even see your hands. We also see more of the fringe play in Moschino here with the florals, as if they're stems of these 3D florals. We also see more beaded fringe as well, which is a little bit more extravagant, I would say. More metallic fringe, like here. I'm not sure if it's like those are chains or beads. But anyway, next one, very simple, single-breasted blazers. I don't know if it's that big of a trend. I guess it is, because I think I saw this mentioned either in Vogue or Bazaar fashion trends. There were quite significant amount of blazers that were buttoned up with a single-breasted kind of design. If you like this kind of blazer, go ahead, but I don't know. All right, next one up are the colors. Which colors did we see? We see not too many colors. As I mentioned, there was lots of very moody feeling towards in all of the shows. They didn't have lots of colors, but the ones that were quite significant, one of them is the yellow. So not quite the butter yellow that we've seen in a few of the fashion weeks before, but more brighter yellow. We also see it maybe in a mustardy way as well, but yellow for sure. Very spring summer color in my opinion, yay. We also see a lilac or more of a lavender color in several shows. Not too crazy, you guys, not a lot. I know that I have a bunch of these pieces from years back because this color was present in a lot of those shows as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking those out and restyling them. But whenever you're picking a color, please don't do it just for the sake of the color itself. Think of what works well with your complexion and then go from there. Maybe if you like lilac but then it doesn't suit your skin tone, think about getting bottoms in it, maybe accessories like bags and shoes, something far away from your face. Here I'm just sharing some examples of how the colors were combined, which were quite crazy. Prada show is definitely something that you would like to consider if you like color combining, as well as Versace. Versace had more of 80s color scheme, sometimes pairing really bright colors together with the shoulders and etc. But anyways, next are the prints. Of course, we have first of all florals. No spring summer can be without florals apparently, and we've seen it throughout all the other fashion weeks of this upcoming season. We see them ranging from sizes, but the size of the floral usually needs to go hand in hand with your figure. If you're more petite, choose a smaller floral. If you're larger or taller, then choose more larger florals. If you're in a medium section, then you could choose a medium floral. But yes, we see those florals, granny chic vibes, sometimes a little bit more pop art kind of situation that we've seen in Prada. Gucci, of course, with their famous floral print, they had two outfits there. Etro going more of the wallpaper vibes or more paisley. We also see some lace with some of the florals and the lace being colored, which is pretty cool. Here in Fendi, some moments of floral fur coats, maybe some prints that aren't super dramatically, that don't really stand out a lot, so they have very low contrast between the florals and the background. If you don't really like a pattern but you need it, this could be something that you can work with because it's not as noticeable. Like for instance, I'm a pretty messy person and I hate patterns unless they're like really subtle. There is very limited patterns that I like on myself, maybe like plaid, maybe an interesting color gradients. Florals is not my thing, but if they were very minimal, then they wouldn't be as noticeable. And if I get a little bit of a stain here or there, it's going to mask it and it's not going to be as noticeable. Here in Moschino, we have some mixing of different patterns with like stripes and etc. And then stripes was another big one, which was part of multiple other fashion weeks as well. Here we are. Dolce & Gabbana, the entire show, both for men and women's show, was pajamas. They had almost every single look had some element of PJs. Maybe it's the stripes, maybe it's like the actual string pants paired with something else, but it was all striped pajamas. You can see here, maybe they had a little bit of florals on there as a beaded effect of some sort, layered with like lace, blazers, even leather jackets. I quite like this. I'm struggling. I can never find anything that I could wear at home that would be like my style. I usually wear whatever is in my closet that has like stains or holes, something really old. So anyways, if you have any suggestions where to look for more like home lounge, where can I get it? Down in the comments below. Thank you. Anyways, going back to the stripes, we have stripes as part of really large garments like here, maybe part of the dress, maybe sometimes the two are combined with the florals. We also see it just the shirts. We see some pinstripes as well. So yes, lots of stripes for sure. When thinking about stripes, think about your sizes as well. If you want to seem longer, try going for a vertical stripe. If you want to make either have a lower portion or upper portion to be wider, for instance, if you're a reverse triangle, put the horizontal stripe on the bottom to even out your proportions. Or if you have some asymmetry or you don't want to even bother with anything, go for a diagonal one. All right. The next trend, which is again another weird one for fall winter, is the layering. We see this in several runway spring summer fashion weeks. Sometimes they're work done in a little bit different way of having like the garment having multiple layers to it. This time we have more like the actual layering of maybe multiple button-up shirts or having multiple dresses on and having that peek through with layers. We also see the pants and dresses or pants and skirt, which in my opinion is also a layering effect, which I quite like, and I'm already starting to wear this for fall winter 2025-2026 because I can, and I feel like it's more of a fall winter trend because you're trying to get warmer. Anyways, next one up, definitely more of a spring summer trend, and it's the hot shorts. Okay, so yes, we do see quite a lot of those underwear examples that are, I don't know, are they appropriate, are they not? Some of them are covered by a sheer skirt, which I prefer. It adds a little bit of coverage. Some worn with which is also okay, but we do see lots of those. For the hot pants, we also see them, some of them made out of like knits. Sometimes they're really just regular underwear, or sometimes they're made of surprising materials like leather. Another example of the short shorts that were really popular are the bloomers, and we've seen them also in multiple of the fashion weeks. So I feel like those are definitely something that we can look out for. So having the shorts a little bit voluminous, almost bubble-esque, but short format, a little bit sometimes on a diaper side, which you need to stylize around it. So it's super weird and out there. In Prada show for men's, they also have these more shorts, diaper-like bloomers, something in between of bloomers and underwear. Like, it's super short. I don't know like how comfortable I would be seeing anybody in these. But anyways, it's interesting. It's interesting, yes. I think I prefer these on women though, just me. Versace had those like almost Bermuda short, but then the bottom rolled up to make that a little bit of a shape to them. Next one up, not going too far from the underwear wearing situation, is the bras. Okay, so we see this trend going quite a little. So having these more maybe like lacier bras and having a little bit of peekaboo showing. So this reminds me of maybe early 2000s where you would have a little bit maybe of your push-up bra showing, especially if it's like a lacy one. But this time around, we actually have holes in garments to reveal the entire bra, or maybe it's peeking through a sheer moment. Or here in Prada, it's more of a top, but it's still quite minimal and you can see the entire thing. So we see quite a lot of it. It's a moment. And if before it was more of a push-up bra, trying to create more volume in the chest, this time, like, the less chest you have, the better. At least that's what it seems. Like here in Prada, they're like, the bras are just hanging loosely at the back and at the front, and it's just there to cover anything that needs to be covered. Sometimes it's more of like an actual bra that's just being worn with an open blazer, or maybe with a very deep V-neck, or yeah, you can see here, just worn it with a skirt by itself or through a sheer something or other. I quite like this trend. I don't think I have lots of bras that are appropriate to be worn like in public, so maybe something I need to look for. Versace had several of those encrusted with crystals, and some of the tops with a very large side opening, so the bra could be shown through there. I know they didn't style it like that, but I think that's going to be styled like that in real life. All right, next one up are the kind of knee-high skirts. We've seen this trend before for fall winter, so it's continuing on, and we see quite a lot of designers choosing this length. At least in the Milan Fashion Week, we see sometimes cardigan sets or windbreaker sets with the skirt, maybe lacy skirt, maybe more transparent skirts. I quite like this length, and this length is quite good for creating a beautiful silhouette, as the knee is usually like the skinnier part of the leg. And depending on if you want it to be high-waisted, then it creates the rule of thirds. If you're going for a low rise to the knee, I'm not sure if that's gonna look really good, because it's just gonna divide you in half, and then I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan. Here in Prada, they had skirts created through like different fabrics. There's a panel of lace, panel of like different colored, and then another panel of another texture. There are also suspender skirts, really interesting, that were just quite loose and held by the suspenders on the shoulders. Interesting. Right, next one up are the trenches. Yes, we still need some kind of outerwear when we are heading into spring. So why not trench? There is a lot of them on the runways. We see a variety either made of leather or the like actual trench fabric. Here we see more of denim going into sheer, which is really beautiful, and we see variety of them. Sometimes they're like to the floor maxi trenches, which I would love to have. Sometimes there are cropped, sometimes there are part of a monochromatic outfit, having the entire outfit in the single color, which also is fantastic, and especially if you're trying to elongate yourself and create this one seamless line, also beautiful. Sometimes they had really unique sleeves or shoulders, or they had more of an elegant cut to them, that kind of like rethinking a trench coat into a dress situation. Like here in Max Mara, Moschino, kind of a dress trench format. Roberta Cavalli having more a metallized version of it. The Attico also had several trenches, sometimes playing with the layers of them as well, having either multiple lapels or creating another dress out of a trench. Some of them having the more of a lower rise belt, accentuating the hips. And yeah. All right, you guys, this is the end of the Milan Fashion Week Spring-Summer 2026. I quite loved it. There were so many designers that were debuting, and I feel like most of them did really amazing job. We had Gucci with Denma, we had Bottega Veneta with their new creative director, and oh my gosh, I am looking forward to the Paris Fashion Week and all of their debuts. We have JW Anderson for Dior, and okay, yes, I am really excited to see all of this new and fresh ideas that are reshaping the brand through their own lens, which is really interesting and really exciting to watch. Please comment down a sun emoji for the spring summer. That way I'll know that you watched to the end. Really cool. Another way you can support this channel is by interacting with this video, by liking, maybe sharing. If you're not already subscribing, subscribe. If you want to see how I try to interpret these trends into my everyday style, then make sure to check out my Instagram, where I try to share my daily outfits unless I'm working here, which is quite often. As I mentioned, this is my full-time job. I probably spend more than 40 hours a week on this. Whew. But other than that, I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and yeah, stay classy. Bye. Ooh, my knees are tired.